Welcome back, first timers. We're spending the weekend at one of the largest and most inclusive RV state parks that we've ever been to.
We're staying at Gulf State Park in Alabama.
We're going to be camping in spot number 70. It's in the first loop. It's a pretty long spot. It does have full hookups, water, sewer, and electric. That's 20, 30, and 50 amp service. There's also a picnic table and a grill. There is no fire ring, but they do allow fire rings if you bring your own. Our spot doesn't have any trees or any coverage, so we're kind of just out here in the elements, but there's a lot of other spots that do have a lot of good tree coverage.
Right now, we're at the Hospitality Center, and behind me is Middle Lake, and there's a boathouse right here. We're also gonna check out the camp store, the beach pavilion, nature center, and they even have a pool.
So if you're traveling, or if you're staying here for a while and your clothes gets dirty, they have the perfect solution. They have a huge laundry room with washers and dryers.
At the camp store, you can rent a bike, pick up some firewood, or buy some ice. There's also ice vending machines that are 24 hours all around the park. But let's go inside and see what else they have to offer.
That camp store had absolutely everything. There's food, there's sundries, RV supplies. They have clothes, games, toys, ice cream. I don't know what they didn't have. They even had souvenirs. They do rent bikes out, which is pretty cool. You can rent it by the day, by the week, or by the month. They have individual bikes, tandem bikes, and they even have these little buggies you can pull kids behind.
Between the beach pavilion and the nature center, there's a really cool amphitheater. Looks like you could have a pretty nice wedding out here. Inside the nature center, there's all kinds of animals. There's turtles, baby alligators, all kinds of stuffed things, snakes, creepy crawlies. Behind me is the education center where they offer their classes. It's right next to the nature center. Different times throughout the day, check their schedule, but you can interact with some of the animals like the snakes. They also do guided walking tours on the trails and showcase some of the animals right in their natural habitat.
Right now it's about 82 degrees with 100% humidity, so it feels well over 90. So we're gonna check out the best place to be right now, and that's the pool and the splash pad.
This pool is massive, and they've got a ton of chairs that you can sit on. But for those of you, like me, who can't swim, you can check out the splash pad. The pool is relatively shallow. It goes from 2 to 4 feet, which is perfect for me and my non-swimming self. They've also got a swing set and beach volleyball. And if that's not enough entertainment for you, they also have pickleball, tennis, and basketball courts.
So we brought our bikes to cruise around this campsite and give you guys a tour. It's absolutely massive. We've been driving for miles and we're just still hitting RV campsite after RV campsite, primitive spot. Seems like it never ends. I mean, there's almost 500 spots. If you're trying to get around, you should definitely have a bike, golf cart, something like that, because it's absolutely massive. If you're gonna be walking around in this 90-degree heat, you're gonna get worn out pretty quick. Keep that in mind when you're staying out here.
The campground has 11 bathhouses. We're at bathhouse number 2, which is right across from our spot 70. It's also got a pretty neat mural on the wall. Right now, we're gonna check out the ice vending machine.
We just saw this in action and I'm absolutely excited about it. You swipe your card, you open the door, you take how many bags you want, 1, 2, a million, whatever, and then it automatically charges you that amount. I don't know how it does it. It seems like magic.
I know how it works. It's like a giant mini bar. It has the weight in there, and as the weight comes out, it knows how many you took. Anyway, we're gonna swipe the card. Door. Close the door. Processing. Thank you. $6.60 for one bag of ice.
We made it back to the campsite, and we barely even scratched the surface of what the state park has to offer.
The park staff said you need at least 2 to 3 days to explore everything.
And I completely agree with that.
We're gonna put this video on hold for right now. We've got a concert to get to, but we're gonna pick back up tomorrow morning and start checking out the rest of the place.
See you then. Good morning, first timers. We're back. Today it is storming, it's raining, it's windy. We had thunder and lightning all night long. But we're braving the elements because we're gonna be catching the tram. It's a state park tram that's free. There's 6 different stops around the state park, and we're gonna jump on and take you around and show you what this tram connects to.
Hey, I'm Rick. I'm your tram driver today, and I'll take you all the way through the state park and show you all the different things.
The nature center that you saw yesterday is stop number 2. Stop number 1 is actually the lodge, so we'll get that at the back end. Stop number 3 is the Interpretive Center, which is right across the main road on the water. The Interpretive Center is also the beach access, so if you're staying here at the RV park, you can jump on the tram, go right over there and get to the water. Today is not a beach day. Probably just gonna peruse from a distance.
And see, I drop people off from the campground instead of them trying to come over here and park, because in the summertime there's really nowhere to park.
Yeah.
So right behind me is the Interpretive Center. There's also a huge parking lot that you have access to the water, and then a huge beach pavilion. There's a lot of paved walkways. There's also paths, really, really easily accessible. Then even have bike racks. But right now it's storming. We're gonna get back on the tram. So right here we have the cabins, and they're right on the water. They have multiple bedrooms, bathroom. They have screened in porches. They even have docks that you can dock your boat up to. You can rent them right through the state park website. They're brand spanking new and they look immaculate. But what's even nicer than these are the Eagle Cottages. These cottages are massive. We can't go in because we're not staying here, but maybe one day we will. They have their own fire pit. They're huge, but you also have access to free bike rental and breakfast in the morning. And they range between $450 to $600 a night, but you can fit a lot of people in there. Compared to what you can get out in the economy, it's an amazing deal. So I was just corrected. Our good man here, Rick, let me know that the bikes are already at the cottages. They're just right underneath. So you don't have to go anywhere. Once you check in, you got bikes, you can cruise all over this area.
There's deer everywhere down here. The deers are so much fun because what they'll do is they'll run with you, like on the side. They will actually sit there and stare at you, and then they'll start running beside you down the road. They have some foxes here. They also have coyotes. There's plenty of eagles down here. There are a lot of alligators down here, but right now when it's cool, they don't come out. But when the sun comes out, you'll see them laying up on the bank. They won't mess with people. As long as you don't feed them, that's the worst thing you can do. They're naturally scared. If you start feeding them, they're not. But down here, they'll tell you don't feed the alligators. Like you can swim out there, they don't mess with. There hadn't been an alligator attack in this park that I know of.
We're gonna get out here and get some breakfast at the Woodside restaurant, but then we'll see Ricky back here in just a little bit to see the other stops.
See you in just a little bit.
We're at the Woodside restaurant. They have live music, food. We're gonna go grab some breakfast, maybe some lunch, depending on what they're serving.
Just behind the restaurant, they have a huge outdoor seating area with tables, chairs. They have a covered patio that it looks like they use for a stage. There's picnic tables. They're supposed to have some of the best live music in this area right here at this restaurant. And then there's also fire pits and then some other games like ping pong and some other ball games. This place looks awesome. I think you could have a lot of fun here. Right now it's raining, so it's a little bit more mellow. Right now we're here for breakfast and we're gonna check out what they have to offer.
Right outside the restaurant, they have a station with free bikes. You don't even have to rent them. They're just there for your use.
Just like everything so far with this state park it's over the top. We're discovering more and more things every single second that we're here. The breakfasts are the same. Huge pancakes, giant omelet, huge heaping bowl of biscuits and gravy, and all for super affordable prices.
I was actually shocked at the prices.
All these meals are totally Instagrammable, which we do have an Instagram, so you guys should make sure you follow our Instagram. We have so much more to see, and we got to get back on that tram, so we're going to make this snappy. And I'm going straight for the biscuits and gravy because that's my favorite vegetable.
Cheers. I got my sausage omelet.
That gravy's the perfect amount of salt, pepper, creaminess. It's rich. They're making it back there. Super flaky biscuit, packed with flavor. Can't beat this one.
The omelet's really good. Tons of sausage, tons of vegetables and cheese. Mine also comes with fruit and some hash browns.
These look like McDonald's, but thicker. They smell better. They look better. It's a winning hash brown.
So good.
Now it's pancake time. I don't eat breakfast much.
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
But if I do, they gotta have pancakes.
Dense and fluffy.
It's a hearty pancake. It's great, buttery, crispy on the edges, just like you want. Now we're waiting for Ricky to pick us up for our next couple stops. Gotta say, that was one of the best breakfasts we've had in a long time. They were so friendly. The staff there were great. They even gave us a magnet. So shout out to the staff at Woodside. You guys were amazing, and we'll definitely be back. Right, Terry?
That's right.
My man.
All right, how you doing, man?
Good, right back on schedule. We're back on the tram and we're gonna go hit the next two spots. So the next stop is the park at Lake Shelby. There's an area for dog parks, there's a boat launch, there's a park for the kids. It's a huge and expansive area surrounded by water, but it's easily accessible. It's a big parking lot and it looks like a great time for families. And it's good fishing too. You can fish on both sides.
Here's the dog park right there. They do Segway tours where you rent the Segway and you stand on it, you know, and they do tours around the park. The lodge up here was built eco-friendly. The parking lot is not paved. It has rigid things down there where the water can flow through. The pool is supplied by the boiler system with the condensate that runs off of it. It's filtered and put into the pool. There are a lot of things that help this whole situation. All the natural plants you see up there are all from the area. They don't bring in plants that are from somewhere else. It's all whatever's naturally in this area is what they grow and put in the flower beds.
We're at our last stop. We're at the lodge, but don't worry, we'll get more Ricky. But make sure in the comments, go ahead and comment below. Let's go Ricky, because Ricky has been the man.
Okay, well, let's go. Y'all head on out.
We'll see Ricky back in just a little bit. The lodge is broken up into 3 separate buildings. Building 1 is for meeting space and ballrooms. Building 2 is where the lobby is, and they have a coffee shop, and the restaurant, The Perch, which is kind of the higher end, fancier restaurant. And then building 3 has the guest rooms, the pool, and the fitness centers. The 2 main restaurants here at the lodge are Foodcraft and The Perch. The Perch isn't open till 5 p.m., but seating goes until 10:45, and it's more of an elevated dining experience where you can sit, overlook the water, have a great drink. Downstairs is Foodcraft. That's gonna have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but it is a little bit more of a casual setting. We're not gonna eat at either of them right now because we just had breakfast, but there's a good chance we'll be back, and if we do, we'll definitely take you along. When you're out here, if you're not facing gale force winds, there's some really sweet rocking chairs, there's tables, there's chairs, there's fire pits, there's a pool, there's a bar, there's all kinds of stuff. Today's not that day, so we're just gonna scope it out and try not to get blown into the Gulf.
It's a pretty nice pool. They got a lot of seating. The bar's right here. There's a restaurant over here. Sign me up. The Dragonfly restaurant is behind me. They've got a little shop over here and also a bar out by the pool, but closed today because of the weather. Right next to the pool, you have access to the beach, but mind the flags so you know the water conditions. Today, it's been so stormy, they didn't even put up a flag. They even have their own little bar right on the beach, so you don't have to walk back to the hotel. And they have snow cones. This is building 3 where they have the ballroom and meeting rooms.
They have all kinds of meeting spaces, small, medium, and large, and then ballrooms all over this building. If you're looking for a conference, wedding, or just want to get your friends together, this might be a really cool place for that.
So we were going to check out the pier, but I think it's still closed. It was damaged in 2020 by Hurricane Sally, and online it says it's not going to open until later this summer of 2024. I really want to stay here, so let us know in the comments if you'd like to see a room tour.
Hi, how y'all doing? Did everything go okay?
Oh, it's great. This is our last stop of the day. We're going to head back over to the campsite, get some rest, because we got more concert action for tonight. If you haven't seen that video, we'll link that one right here, where we did the entire 3-day Hangout Festival. We're back at the beginning, stop number 2, the Nature Center. We've had an absolute blast hanging out with Ricky. He's been our private tour guide, but when you come out here, ask for Ricky, he'll take care of you. This has been absolutely our favorite state park of all time. We stayed here for a long weekend, and I don't even feel like we scratched the surface. Yes, we did have a lot of bad weather. Even with that, we had a blast. There's so much to do, so much to see. Everybody was really friendly. I guarantee that we'll be back.
But let us know if there's a better state park that could beat this one, and we'll try and stay there.
If you like this video, check out this video right here where we stayed at another really awesome state park. So thanks again for following along in this episode, and join us next time when we try something else new for the first time.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. First timers.
High five.
We love y'all. Y'all come back anytime you want. Y'all come back, you hear?